Strqin versus BK Wolfie is up, live, and ready to go. We are going to move on over to the fighter's lobby where Strqin is ready to make his Max Holloway pick and Wolfie with his Ilia Topuria pick.
Yeah, we did see this fight play out in real life recently. The heartbreak of Max Holloway appreciators everywhere. We'll have to see how it goes. But as I was saying, with the ability or the opportunity for Strqin to show off his possibly improved ground game, we may see that at play with Wolfie's Ilia Topuria pick, who is recently well known for knockout power and his great boxing. But he is a Greco-Roman wrestler as a base, and he has great submissions as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Wolfie mixes it up. And you'd think he'd be well advised to do that, Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the smart. Excuse me, hold on. Let me try and just adjust this volume a little bit. The video is gonna lag for half a second. Hang tight. I love you all. All right, sorry. I feel like everyone is well aware of Ilia Topuria's ground game, and a lot of people sleep on Max Holloway's. And I think for a guy like Strqin, obviously stand up and striking is the goal. But Ilia is obviously more than capable of doing both. But I think people just sleep on the fact that so can Max.
Yeah, that's a great point. He has some nice submissions to his name. I'm not sure what his rating is in this particular game, but UFC 4 he had over 90 submissions, so definitely has the opportunity to get a finish of his own on the ground, as well as just being able to keep it on the feet with his great takedown defense. But so far, we see Strqin being pushed up behind the black lines in the map. BK Wolfie pressuring forward, trying to keep this fight in boxing range as he lands a big head kick right there, Jedi.
Yeah. It kind of landed more on Strqin's shoulders, so I don't think that it did too much damage. But here we are still with half of the first round through, and the very first counter I think is achieved by Strqin. Strqin, like you mentioned, has been kind of on the back pedal throughout this first round, but I don't think that that's typically been a problem. But he gets rocked and defends the takedown very, very well. Back to their feet are they, and to the center of the octagon, Croton.
Yeah, sprawls are pretty uncommon in these games, so maybe that speaks to Strqin's approach to this fight, keeping in mind that Wolfie may want to go to the ground, as we see a few what looks like takedown feints so far. But, a minute and a half to go, Strqin will want to get that knockdown, or that stun rather, back in his favor to take this round. But you want to be careful, not be too aggressive, and possibly end up losing the fight when all you wanted was just to take the point back.
Sure, yeah, but I think BK Wolfie has been doing an excellent job at riding the wave of momentum that he's gained from that rock. And while he wasn't able to get the first or this last takedown attempt here, I believe that either way the fight is most likely still in his favor.
Yeah, and with those failed attempts, they still put the almost fear, but at least the thought of the takedown that this may end up being a grappling match in Strqin's head. We did see him defend it very well so far with the sprawl and then denial of the ankle pick, but actually going for those takedowns, as Wolfie has been doing, is going to make those takedown feints all the more effective as he eats a bit of a punch there as he goes for the kick. But end of round one, I'd say 10-9 Wolfie favor with that stun.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely have to agree with you. Wolfie is doing an excellent job at not only creating damage, but he's also creating possible scenarios in Strqin's head that aren't even there. Like you mentioned, the takedown fakes, mixed in with genuine takedown attempts. These are only just going to open up his opponent for things that may or may not exist.
Yep, and those mind games you're going to be playing, because it's not all about reactions. Sometimes you got to anticipate moves, and Wolfie's doing his best to try and make Strqin a bit overloaded mentally with all the things he's throwing at him. But a different approach to begin round two, perhaps wise there by Strqin. Less off the back foot, and now he's pressuring forwards, though early in the, or not early, but rather in the first round, it is when he began pressuring that he was rocked by an uppercut, Jedi.
Well, it's a good observation. That's something that that I had realized. But into the clinch, does Wolfie escape with not too much damage, but Strqin landing some major shots there, able to finally get the man back with his own rock, but needs to be careful. He could be countered at any moment here.
Ooh, double pull right there, and lands a massive body uppercut. And Strqin, getting a few stuns of his own, it's really going to make Wolfie respect the punches coming back his way. And so far, this has been boxing up here. Big rock, and that cardio of Max Holloway gets him the drop.
And Strqin doing a good job at not only landing his counters, but staying safe and staying patient. Big body shot lands with the spinning body kick, and then one on the outside during the retreat there, Croton.
Yeah, I was just saying how this is mostly boxing. Massive uppercut landed right there by Wolfie, but Strqin's doing well to mix in the body kicks, which can create a bigger stamina gap between the two fighters. But things have calmed down temporarily, but they can definitely heat back up with both these guys having hurt one another. They've tasted blood, and they're going forward. Neither one seems to want to step behind those black lines. They're in each other's faces, Jedi.
Yeah, it's you see it so often, Croton, but this community has a huge problem with the ego playing. Every time I get hit or I get rocked, I gotta have to do it, back to you. And Strqin is able to stand on business and knock his opponent down once again. What is Topuria gonna be able to do to get it back here, Croton?
It seems like Wolfie has gone away from the takedowns so far in the second round. It may not be enough to shift the round back in his favor, but it can definitely shift the flow of things. As I say that, he did go for a clinch, reverse his position against the cage, but he has to be careful not to eat too many shots. His head health is low, and Strqin is picking his shots, spacing out his combos right there, Jedi, and he may be close to getting another drop.
Yeah, he's doing a good job at keeping Wolfie guessing, and he's able to land a huge elbow that drops his opponent. We're not going to get the view from the crowd, but we might get a finish.
Wow, and Strqin gets the job done. Round 2 TKO. Overcame some adversity in that fight, but ultimately, he kept his foot on the gas, used that stamina advantage, picked his shots very nicely whenever he had Wolfie hurt, and ultimately, that big elbow counter started the beginning of the end, and he got that finish, Jedi.
Yeah. Strqin had an excellent performance here tonight. Didn't start it off too well, but changed things up in the second round and was able to take it back and eventually get the W. So congratulations to Strqin on making another win